Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. Children, as you all are aware that we had already started chapter 1 integers, and after doing the introduction of integers and number system, we have moved to exercise 1.1, and till yesterday's video we have finished with question 1, 2 and 3 of exercise 1.1. Today I am going to begin the class with the revision of the questions which we have done in yesterday's video, that is question 1, that is related to different temperature on a particular day or at different places. What is the temperature at different places on a particular day, that we have seen. After that, questions related to that particular day's temperature that we have seen. After that, a quiz. Jack is participating in the quiz and the marks he has got in different rounds, because the quiz is positive also, positive marking also there and negative marking is also there. So what is the total score of Jack, that we have find it out. Then the third question, that at Srinagar the temperature on that particular day, like Monday whatever temperature is there, then Tuesday the temperature become dropped, and then on the next day, on Wednesday, again the temperature rise up. So that we will see, that we have done yesterday, and yesterday only I have given you an introduction of question number 4. Now question number 4, what does it say? I'll read out the question, then I'll try to and I'll explain that question on the board. Now what does the question number 4 says? A plane is flying at the height of 500 meter above the sea level. At a particular point, it is exactly above a submarine which is floating 1200 meter below the sea level. Fine. So children, if I make it such kind of a picture, like this is representing sea, and inside the sea you know that we have, everywhere we have water, and in between the water we have one submarine. We have one submarine. We have one submarine, and this submarine is from the sea level, it is 1200 meter below. What is the distance from sea level? That is 1200 meter. Above the sea level we have one aeroplane. Above the sea level we have one aeroplane which is flying. Aeroplane is there. So we'll draw this aeroplane so that the concept will be clear to you all. This aeroplane is there. This aeroplane is there. Now this aeroplane is what it is doing. Aeroplane is flying at a height of 5000 meter above the sea level. So what do you understand? This picture is also given in your book. In this question number 4, it is given that above the sea level, this is your sea level. Above the sea level, the flight or that aeroplane is flying at a height of 5000 meter, and below the sea level the submarine is 1200 meter below the sea level. Now what is asked in the question? What is the vertical distance between them? What is the vertical distance between this submarine and this aeroplane? Vertical distance among both of them. What is the vertical distance between aeroplane and submarine? So what you are going to do? You are going to do addition of both the distance, that is 5000 meter and 1200 meter. See how? Question number 4 of exercise 1.1. So vertical vertical distance, what will be the vertical distance? You are going to write vertical distance between aeroplane and submarine What is the vertical distance here? That will be 5000 meter plus 1200 meter. That will be the total distance, the total vertical distance. So that is 6200 meter. 5000 above the sea level, 1200 meter below the sea level. So you are supposed to find it out, this complete vertical distance. What is the vertical distance between these both, from aeroplane to submarine? What will be the total vertical distance? So that will be sum of both the distance above the sea level or below the sea level. So let's see this question once again and we'll understand the concept, what is given and what you are supposed to do it in this question. Now the question says that a plane is flying. Aeroplane is flying at the height of 500 meter above the sea level. This is your sea level. Above the sea level, the plane is flying at 5000 meter, and above the sea level at a particular point, it is exactly above the submarine. At a particular point, you will find it out that a submarine was floating inside the sea, and above the sea level or from the sea level, that submarine is below 1200 meter inside the sea. So this distance will become 1200 meter. Now what is other part of the question? The other part of the question is, what is the vertical distance between them? What is the vertical distance between them? What will be the vertical distance between these two? So that will be, vertical distance means they were talking about the sum of both the distance. Means you are going to add 5000 meter plus 1200 meter. You will do the addition and you will get this answer, 6200 meter. 5000 meter plus 1200, that is 6200 meter. That will be the total distance. Now let's come to question number 5. Question number 5. I hope this question number 4 is clear to you all. And if you have any query, if you have any problem, that we are going to discuss again in online class. We are going to discuss all these questions in the online class again. So let's come to question number 5. Mohan deposits rupees 2000 in his bank account and withdrawal rupees 1642 from it the next day. If withdrawal of amount from the account is represented by a negative integer, then how will you represent the amount deposited? So as I told you that integers may be positive, may be negative. So depending upon the circumstances or whether they are taking as debit or credit. So two words you all have heard on case of banking, that is debit and credit. Credit means which are adding to the account, and debit means when you are taking out some amount of money or that money was deducted for some cause or for some reason. So that is debit and credit. Credit means credit is represented by positive sign, since that amount is credited in your amount. Fine, you have credited something, so that is your positive. And debited means debited, wherever you are doing debit represent with negative sign. Debit you will represent with negative sign. So the same thing we will do it in this question, that Mohan deposit rupees 2000 in his bank account and withdraw rupees 1642 from it. That from 2000 Mohan withdrawal 1642 on the next day. If withdrawal is represented with negative sign, then how will you represent the amount deposited? So the amount deposited, question number 5. Now the amount deposited in the account, that is your that is increasing your balance, that is credited in your amount. So that will be represented by positive integer. So we'll write the amount deposited, the amount deposited will represent by positive integer, positive integer. So two things you have to remember, that is debit and credit. Debit means which will be deducted from your account. So here amount which is credited in your bank account, that will represent by a positive integer. Since that amount will make a sum which will be added in your account, so that will be represented with positive integer. So this is one part of the question. Now what is the second part of the question? Find the balance in Mohan's account after the withdrawal. Now as I told you that 2000 represent the positive integer and withdrawal represented by negative integer. So how will you find it out? Balance in Mohan's account. Balance in Mohan's account. That is, what will be the balance? That is from rupees 2000 you will subtract rupees 1642. 1642. We'll do the subtraction here and then we will get the answer rupees. What is the answer now here? 10 minus 2, that will be 8. Then 9 minus 4, 5. And then 9 minus 6 will be 3. So rupees 358. What will be the answer? The answer will be, the balance will be rupees 358. This will be your balance in Mohan's account. Rupees 358. Rupees 358. So what we have seen in this question, that in a bank account, the amount which is deposited in the bank, that will be credited, and that credited amount will represent by a positive integer. But the amount which is debit from an account, that will be represented by negative integer. So this amount 2000 rupees was deposited, so that will be your deposited money will be credited amount. So that will represent by positive integer. That only we have written in the first part. The amount deposited will represent by positive integer. And the amount which is withdrawal from the account, means which are debited from the account, that is rupees 1642. That will be represented by negative integer. That is already given in the question, that withdrawal amount will be represented by negative integer. So from a positive integer, you are going to subtract the negative integer to get the balance in Mohan's account. So what is the balance in Mohan's account? That is rupees 358. Rupees 358 is the balance in Mohan's account. So children, I hope this question 5 is clear to you all. Now let's start question number 6. That is question number 6 again, a kind of a question that is based on directions. So we'll do this question number 6. How we will find it out, what distance will cover, what distance we will cover when we are moving a distance. So Rita goes 20 kilometer, question number 6. Rita goes 20 kilometer towards east from a point A to point B. Now one figure is given. I am going to draw that figure and then we will see what is given in the question. Now this direction is, right is east and the left is west. So we'll write this west and this is your east. Now here it is given A and here it is given B. So what is given in the question, that Rita goes 20 kilometers towards east from a point A to the point B. From point A to B towards the east, Rekha goes 20 kilometers. Now from B, she moves 30 kilometers towards the west. First of all, from A to B, Rekha goes 20 kilometers. How much distance? That is 20 kilometers. And from this point B, Rekha comes towards west. How much distance? That is 30 kilometers. Fine? That from point B, Rita started moving from A towards east and traveled 20 kilometer distance and reaches at point B. But on the next time, Rita starts moving from B towards the west and covers 30 kilometer distance. 30 kilometer distance toward the west along the same road. If the distance toward the east is represented by positive, that is your positive plus 20. So how will you represent the distance traveled towards the west? So here I will make you remind the number line. On that number line you were representing what? Right, when you are going towards right, the distance is positive integer. When you will come towards left, the distance is negative integer. So here minus 30, this distance will become minus 30. This distance will become minus 30. Since 30 kilometer you are coming towards the west. Since 30 kilometer you are coming towards the west. 20 kilometer you are going towards east, means you are going in positive direction, and coming toward west means you are coming in negative direction. So this will represent, now this is your first part of the question. How will you represent the distance traveled towards the west, and by which integer will you represent the final position from E? So by which integer? That is by negative integer. And the distance traveled towards west. What is the total distance? Distance traveled, that is 20 plus minus 30. So what is the distance now here? 20 plus minus 30. I write it here. I hope that is not visible. 20 plus minus 30. So what is the distance here? Plus minus will be minus. So that will become 20 minus 30. That is minus 10 kilometer. That is the distance, minus 10 kilometers. And by which integer we represent this distance? That is your negative integer. By a negative integer. By which integer will you represent her final position from point A? That is final position will represent with negative integer. Represent with negative integer. By negative integer. So that is an important part of the question, that final part or final position is represented by which integer. That is an important thing. So that is represented by negative integer. Now negative integer you can see in this distance also. We'll see here in the distance. Here also you were getting -10. So yes, the final position will represent it using negative integer. So let's revise this question number 6. In question number 6 it is asking that Rita goes from A to B towards the east 20 kilometer from A to B. Then Rita starts moving towards west from B, and then she came towards west 30 kilometer. So 30 kilometer will become -30, since it is coming on the left side of a number line, and when you are going towards the number line means on the right side of the number line, the distance will be represented using positive sign. So what is the total distance covered? 20 minus 30. 20 minus 30. So what it will become? 20 minus 30, that will be -10 kilometer. And final position will represent with negative integer. Final position will represent using negative integer. Fine. So these are the two parts of the question. First of all, that what is the total distance covered by Rita? That is 20 minus 30. Since that 30 kilometer is towards west, which is towards negative integers, so that will become -30, and this will become +20. So -30 plus 20, that will become -10. So final position will represent with negative integer. Yes. So or the total distance of that will be 10 kilometer. Now we'll come to question number 7. In a magic square. In question number 7, when you will see question number 7 in your book, you will find it out, magic square. Question number 7. Question number 7, you will find it out in a magic square. Each row and column and diagonal have the same sum. Check the following magic squares and then tell whether they are magic squares or not. Now what do you understand by magic square? Magic squares means when you will add row, column and even diagonals also, the sum will be same in all the cases. So let's see one of that magic square and we'll find it out whether they are magic squares or not. Magic squares are those squares in which when you will do sum of rows, column and diagonals, you will get the same sum. So we'll start with 5 minus 1. We'll start with this. Okay. So let's start with 5 minus 1 minus 4, then we have -5 minus 2 and 7, then we have 0, 3 and -3. So what I was telling you, that magic square is a square in which when you will add a row. So let's add this row. We'll add this row. 5 minus 1 minus 4. Now you will say that, ma'am, that is your minus. So if I add it like this, 5 plus minus 1. So So again that will become plus minus minus. So we have to write it in this way. So 5 and that will become 5 minus 5. What is the answer here? The sum of this row is 0. Then we'll do this. Minus 5, minus 2 and then 7. Again the sum of this row is also minus 7 and plus 7, that is again 0. We'll do this addition. 3 minus 3 plus 0, that is again 0. So what I'll find it out when I'll add all these 3 rows. These 3 rows we are getting 0 as an addition. So in this first square I am getting all these 3 rows, the sum is 0. This is first part. Now we'll talk about this column. So minus 4 minus 3, that is minus 7. Minus 7 plus 7, the sum is 0. See, minus 4 minus 3 plus 7. So here the sum is 0, that is 0. Again come on this side, minus 2 minus 1, that is minus 3. Minus 3 plus 3, minus 3 plus 3, again it will get cancelled and the sum is 0. Here 5 minus 5, the sum will be 0. So as you can see in this magic square, the sum you are getting, the sum of all these 3 rows, that is 0. All these 3 columns, the sum is 0. Now diagonal minus 3 minus 2, that is minus 5 plus 5. Minus 5 plus 5, that is 5 minus 5, that is 0. On this side also, this side, let's check one more time on this diagonal side also. This side we are getting 0. This side minus 4, minus 2 and then 0. So here we are getting minus 6. Minus 4 and minus 2. We are getting minus 6 here. So now it will change my thought that this is not a magic square. Rows are coming 0. Columns are coming 0. One of the diagonal is also coming 0. But on the other side the diagonal is not coming 0. That is coming minus 6. So hence it does not satisfy the rule of magic square. It does not satisfy the rule of magic square. Similarly, you are going to find it out in second part, that is question number 7. Second part, whether they are satisfying that rule or not. Fine? Whether they are satisfying the rule of magic squares or not. So what you are going to do it, you are going to make second part magic square and then you will add up all the rows and then you will see the answer, all the column and then you will see the answer. After that you have to add up the diagonals also. So this question number 2 of this question 7, second part of this question number 7, that you will do it yourself. You will find it out whether it is a magic square or not. Let's see what is the answer you will be getting, whether they are magic squares, yes or no. You have to find it out. So children, I hope we have done this question number 7, how to find it out whether the given square is a magic square or not. You can easily find it out, that second part of question number 7. So tomorrow we will start with the next question. Today we have finished question number 4, 5, 6 and 7. Seventh question, second part, how to find it out whether the given square is a magic square or not. That you all will complete it. And here I am going to finish the class. Tomorrow we are going to start with this question number 8. Verify A minus of B is equal to A plus B for the following values of A and B. For A and B, different values of A and B will be given. We are going to satisfy the rule of LHS and RHS. That left hand side is equals to right hand side. That we are going to continue tomorrow. Today I am going to finish the class. You will complete your work as well as question number 7 second part. So we'll meet in tomorrow's class. That's all for today, children. Have a good day.